everyone. Welcome back to Shadow Band with Safe Slut. Today we're going to be talking about my slut shaming origin story, aka the birth of Trasha. So I feel like a lot of people probably assume my safe slut origin was me getting diagnosed with genital herpes in 2019, but we're actually going to dig a little bit deeper and go way, way back. So I feel like for me, Safe Slut was kind of always in there because I had a lot of experiences with slut shaming growing up, which I'm sure a lot of other people can relate to. Because I think with slut shaming, I think it usually happens at like an early age before everyone like gets their shit together and figures out that like whatever we're doing is like fine. So it's like kind of like you get slut shamed before you even do anything sexual. So to start off, I kind of wanted to just talk about what is slut shaming. And I looked up some definitions on Google because I was too lazy to like think about it and write it in my own words. But basically, the answer that Google gave me was being criticized or judged for being too sexual or too promiscuous. And it's usually women who are slut shamed, or people who are socialized as women. But in my opinion, like, sure, that's why, but I actually think it just comes down to not actions. It's not like if someone's too sexual, it's people's projection, their insecurities, their need for controlling other people. It's very patriarchal. And I think all the time it comes down to jealousy. I think when I got slut shamed, I think a lot of people were probably just really jealous of me. Um, and also probably just feeling their own shame about their own sexuality. That's just how I feel about it. I could be wrong. I don't know. But either way, it's time to slut celebrate. So that's what we're here to do today. And then in addition to slut shaming, there's also something called the Madonna whore complex, which I like to call it the trad wife 304 complex, just because internet culture. So that's what my brain likes to say. But basically, it's women, usually women, are put into two categories, either the slut or like the wifey. And so they're the one person is the person that like you marry, and they're not seen as like a sexual person. They're very pure. And then there's the whore, which they're slutty, they're the person you have fun with, you have an affair with them, you like you don't take them seriously, you have casual sex with them. And so obviously for me growing up and even till now, I feel like I'm always put in the horror category, which like honestly, thank God. But I don't know. I just think it's funny because it's just like a made up thing where I'm like, why would you not want me to slut you out? And then like I will cook you lasagna. Like I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But either way, these are just like some themes that have come up a lot in my life, and I think it's important to talk about because it's stupid. So let's stop slut shaming. Let's start slut celebrating. So before I get into why I was called Trasha, which was like a really creative nickname that I actually don't know who the person was who came up with it initially. Like, please comment on this if you're watching it and apologize. And then also I'll tell you thank you because it's iconic. Um, so I was slut shamed really badly in like middle school and high school, and it usually stemmed from just the way that I dressed. And I want to preface with I am a Libra moon, Virgo rising. I used to write down every single outfit. Like they were planned in advance. The fits were planned well into advance. And like I never repeated an outfit. I wore a lot of the same pieces, but I switched them up. I styled them differently. There was always a story behind every look. So much thought went into this. And were my tits out? Yes, they were, because I wanted them to be, and it looked really good. So, one of the first things that I can remember is I was a sophomore in high school, and I was in a class with a bunch of juniors in honors chemistry, which I don't know how I tested into that class. I did not do well, but either way, I was like the smart sophomore with all the juniors. Um, and I remember I used to sit next to this girl who was a junior, and one time she was like, "Wow, Trisha, like everyone in my grade says that you're such a slut, but you're actually really nice." I was just like, "What? Okay." I mean, like both can be true. Like I don't know. And like it's just funny because I was so shy and awkward. It's just like I just was like serving looks every day, but like I didn't really do anything. Like I had a boyfriend that I would like suck their dick in like the movie theater, but I was like, that's I was in a committed relationship. Like I don't know. Um, but even with that, I remember in gym class, I was friends with a couple of juniors at the time, and I was telling them about how I like sucked dick for the first time, and I was like, oh, like also RIP to that boyfriend. He was really sweet. But yeah, I would go to the movie theater and we would pick movies that we knew no one would be in so that we would just go and just like hook up because like obviously we couldn't do it at our houses and like we didn't drive yet, so we couldn't do it in a car. It's actually pretty genius, honestly. And I remember telling some girls at school the next day, and they were like, ew, Trisha, like that's disgusting that you did that. Okay, jealous. um, and then just to go back with like how I dressed, I remember also I had this like assistant principal who would constantly give me detention for my outfits. Like I remember like I would get detention for wearing leggings because like God forbid like the boys in my school can't handle that like they're seeing the outline of my ass. Like control yourself. That has nothing to do with me. I remember getting this has nothing to do with slut shaming, but I got in trouble for wearing a beret. Like I remember getting detention for wearing a beret and I remember I had to miss soccer practice. I was really pissed about it. But my crush was in detention, so it actually really worked out. But I'm just like, you don't understand. Like the beret, I had to wear the beret. Like it went with the whole outfit. Like the outfit didn't make sense without the beret, and it wasn't distracting. Like I don't understand. Um, anyways, so I remember my senior prom. I was wearing this like really beautiful BCBG blue, like navy blue, like high neckline. It like ruched out, but like it was really form fitting, but like really classy. It was giving like 1930s Hollywood glam. It was beautiful. And I remember I walked in with my boyfriend at the time, and the assistant principal looks at me and goes, "Wow, Trisha, that's the most clothes I've ever seen you wear." I'm like a 17-year-old. You're like a 45-year-old woman. Like, relax. I don't know. People just like projected so much. It's so ridiculous. She later I didn't respond. Like whenever people kind of came for me that way, I would just kind of like be like just kind of give like a okay look and just move on. So she apologized to me later in the evening. And just was like, okay. So let's get down to how I got the name Trasha. For context, Trasha is everything to me. I'm obsessed with her. She's like the icon. She is safe slut. She is. There would be no safe slut without Trasha. I even have a trash can tattoo. It's kind of shitty, but we love it. And so yeah, when I a junior or a sophomore? No, I was a sophomore in high school. Everything happened my sophomore year. Um, when I was a sophomore, I was at this freshman party with a group of my sophomore and junior friends, and we were in the basement playing strip poker. And there was the one of the hottest guys in the freshman year class was with us, and somehow I don't really remember, but somehow we ended up just making out. I was wearing super super tight skinny jeans. So there was no getting in there. There was no way to get in there. They were like so tight. And I was wearing this Hollister top that was like a peplum, really, really good. And I was wearing the Victoria's Secret bombshell bra. So he was like, can I say this on YouTube? I don't know. He was like trying to like touch my tits, but I'm like, you were touching like layers and layers of padding. So like you weren't touching anything. So we were just literally just like making out at a party. And the that was like a Saturday night. The Monday at school, everyone in the school starts calling me Trasha. So word got around that I hooked up with like the hottest guy in school, and no one said anything about him, but I was the one who got like a nickname, and there were other like names I was called as well. And again, like I didn't think of it at the time, but I'm like, clearly these people were jealous that I was with, like, I made out with the hottest person, even though like they weren't even that hot, but it's fine. um, And yeah, again, I don't know who started the name Trasha, but it kind of came from like obviously my name's Trisha, trash, but it was also when like Kesha was becoming big. So it was kind of like this all-encompassing thing. So yeah, basically everyone in the school was calling me Trasha. And I was like, you know what? Like instead of getting upset by it, I was like, hell yeah, like I'm Trasha. Like I'm gonna take the name and run with it. Like fuck everyone. I just figured it was like the most punk rock thing to do was just to be like, all right, you guys are gonna call me that. Like I'm gonna do it and make it look hot. So my friends and I ended up going to what's one of those stores? I think it was like Rainbow. We went to Rainbow and I stole this bodycon dress that was like cheetah print, like super short, had like cutouts on the side. And I put that on. I did a huge like snooky look. I did the whole bump it and we did a photo shoot. And we just did like a Trasha as Snooki photo shoot. I made a Facebook fan page and just like made little posts that was just like, yep, trash night at my house tonight, like come through. And like just posted these like crazy unhinged photos of myself and was just like, yeah. um and then it was culture day. It was like spirit week, so we had culture day at school, and I wore red fishnets, cheetah print flats, which I wish I still had because they're so cute, and like a leather skirt, and then a white trash bag with a sign that just says white trash. And I just walked around the school the whole day, like being like, yeah, I'm white trash. Like, so everyone can fuck off. So don't slut shame me. I'll shame you right back. And honestly, yeah, everyone started calling me trash or trasha, like my friends, like in a way of like, it was like, and like they're like like what's the word, I don't know, but just like that was their way of like supporting me, was being like, yeah, I'm gonna call you this. Like even in college, to this day my college friends call me trash. Like I have the tattoo, like it's, yeah, it just became part of me. So when I did get herpes and started safe slut, I'm just like, yeah, the shaming, all of that was like already there, and I'm just trasha. Um, and recently, when I was preparing for this podcast episode, I was going through my journal that I'm eventually going to publish. So you guys will be able to read it soon. But it was just basically talking about during this time when I was getting slut shamed. I wish I like had it so I could just like fully read it. But basically, I was just like a 16-year-old writing like, why are people like repressing themselves for like a normal thing that we all like to do? Like that's weird on you to like be like mad at me for like just like making out with someone at a party. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Like like it's worse to just like repress your sexuality, and it's also worse to repress being jealous of me. So like stop doing that. And I also wrote about how like it's okay for men to be doing these things, but like when I was doing the same thing back, like I was the one who got shamed. So even like at a young age, like before I was like knowledgeable on any type of like feminism or like sex positivity, I was just like, this just doesn't like feel right, like doesn't make sense. um so I was a safe slut before I even knew it. um and then also I talked about like casual sex as well, where it's just like if that's something that you want to do, like who cares? Who cares? Um, but I will say that when I did get herpes, there was a part of me that was like, was I wrong this whole time? And like I did deserve this thing, and like the slut shaming, like everyone else was right, I was wrong. Um, so it's kind of like that self stigma on myself that took me a bit to work through, and making safe slut obviously was the best way, where I was able to find other fellow sluts, and know that we're right and sluts are the best and sex workers are perfect, and we're literal perfect angels. Um, but I will say also, like with that, and like having being slut shamed from such a young age, and being told constantly it's bad to like want these things or do these things, whether it's like constantly being told that like I shouldn't be doing sex work, or that no one will love me if I do sex work. The way I dress is bad. I'm getting like the wrong attention. Who I fuck, when I fuck them, like all this stuff like has been like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, but like constantly being told that it's wrong. And then in addition to that, always in the back of my mind being like, knowing being so sexually open that so many people that I've like encountered or dated have either like fetishized me for being really sexually open or like alternative and like a sex worker, or just being like objectified. um Fuck those people. Like, that's on them, that's not on you. And I think the right people are going to be like down with the sluttiness. And I think there's a lot of unlearning people need to do about sexuality, is sluttiness in general. And for me, like starting Safe Slut was that way of me like reclaiming it, because like at the start I still had all of that self stigma, but as I've worked through it, it's now like I'm like 5 years in, and it's for me, it's just kind of felt like reclaiming my sluttiness, and my sluttiness is like how I connect to myself as like my authentic self. And I think Trasha would be really proud of that. Oh, but like one aside, a lot of the people who slut shamed me in high school follow Safe Slut. Fuck everyone. So it's like you can shame me all you want, but I know that you've always just been jealous of me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support.